Okay guys, today I'm going to talk to you really quickly about how to process a policy A for defective goods. Defective goods means it's something that a customer bought, it was defective, something's wrong with it. We're going to obviously give them a return or exchange depending on what it is, and then we're going to get our money back from Ace Hardware. So how to process a policy A defective goods claim. You're going to start on AceNet. So log in with your own credentials on AceNet. This is going to be the home, as we all are very familiar with that. Okay, step number one is you're going to go under manage product right underneath AceNet. Open that up. Second column over for item management, and you're going to go down to defective goods. It's going to be the third option below. Click that open. When you click that open, it's going to ask you for a SKU number and how many you want to return and so on. We're going to start here at the very first one. So I don't have SKU numbers, but I do have a UPC. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do a claim on today. Today, we're going to do a claim on 2 items. This and this. I don't know the SKU number, but I do have the UPC. So at that point, when I changed it to UPC, on the next column, I'm going to scan the item. If you want to get closer, that's okay with me. And then, so you have the UPC option. I scanned it. How many do I want to return? I want to return 1 of them. And then you're going to add to grid. You see this one here was a defective item. They returned it. Very unhappy with it. We returned their money. So now we're going to get our money back from the policy A claim. Submit. Here, this little pop-up, if you want to get a little bit closer, it says, the status of the claims you have just submitted are as follows. Credit 1. Perfect. Review means they're going to put it under review. Policy B and C is not anything you want to do. This is not the video for that. This is only policy A claims. Policy B and C are going to be in a separate video. So that's going to be something separate. And then after you get this pop-up, it's telling you you have 1 credit. You're going to press OK. Okay, done. I'm going to show you one more example. I'm going to grab our second item. It's a kitchen sink spray head hose. I had a leak. It's probably punctured or something is wrong with it where it's leaking. So we're going to go ahead and do a claim on it. I'm going to, instead of SKU, I'm going to go ahead and do UPC because I like to just scan my items in. For me, it's just faster. It's asking me how many are in your claim. I only have 1 that was ran as a defective earlier this month. I'm gonna go ahead and move over here to this add to grid button, and it's gonna send it down here for me. I have the UPC, the claim quantity, so now I'm just gonna press submit. So I'm gonna go ahead down here, press submit. Again, the pop-up shows up, it's telling me that I'm gonna get credit for 1 item, which is perfect. This is exactly what I want to see. Press OK. Okay, that's it. So now I'm done with claims for today. Thursday, we're done. One last step is going to be, you're going to go to this little menu box over here. It says menu. I don't know if you need to get closer, but you're going to scroll down to the 4th option that says credit and review listing. Open that up. And I want you to know, I'm going to see if I can make it bigger for you. Yeah. Okay. I want you to see credit review listing here. There's a lot of information here. There's actually a lot of records that have been recorded, not just today. Today's the 23rd, but I also see some from 4/20 and then 4/13 and so on, different dates. And then if I go and move this bar to the right, there's a lot of other different information that I need. When I print this out, every time you do claims, you have to print a record of your transaction. So I need to know what you claimed for that day. I don't need to print this whole thing out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick the ones I'm gonna print, which are the tape measure right here, and the hose, the sink spray hose. Someone earlier today worked on other things, so I'm gonna just assume that those have already been taken care of. For me in particular, I only did 2, so I'm gonna work on these 2. So I'm gonna print these 2. Now I'm gonna go to the gray area up here, and I'm gonna do a right click, and I'm gonna press add and remove columns. I don't know if you can see that there, but these are all the columns that are displayed. There's a lot of information. I don't need all that information for my next step. So as I begin to unclick the boxes, the columns will begin to disappear, and I'll show you. You unclick claims, it disappeared. Defective POs, we're gonna unclick that. We're gonna unclick that, disappear. Department code, I don't need. I do need the date, yes. I do need the type, the number, and the description. I do need the quantity. Everything else I don't need. I don't need the claim status. I don't need the status. I would like to see the reasons, so leave that there, and then just take off the log on ID. So pretty much what I need to see is the date that the claims were submitted, the actual UPC number or SKU number, because some of them I see were used under SKUs. A brief description is fine. How many were claimed, and then has it been approved or denied? That's the most important thing. Once I have this here, then I'm going to go ahead and push print. It's telling me that it's better if I print it in landscape mode, which is okay. I'm going to put okay. It's going to print it that way. So, well, I guess I could change it here in landscape if I wanted to, but it's not necessary. I'll leave it up to your discretion. And then at that point, I'm going to put print. It's on the right printer, so perfect. Print. Okay, after all of that, the very last step is you're going to print your sheet. This is what we worked on. Now, I want you to know that you cannot escape the previous works done before. So I do have previous work done from March and so on, but I'm going to print this sheet to reflect the 2 items that I did today, which I highlighted here. I have the date, April 23rd. I had the UPC numbers, the descriptions, and they were approved. I have today's date. So now I'm going to go ahead, hole punch this, and add it to the folder. So that way we all have that communication of what we are doing. It's going to go under policy A, and it's going to go at the very front. Someone's work has been there, so you just record yours. Final step, very last step, is we have to fix the inventory. So we're going to go to Epicor, Eagle Browser, log in with your own credentials. I already have mine open. Once I'm here, I'm going to go to IMU. Enter. Okay, now that you're here, I'm going to type in both of the SKUs that I worked on today. So it'll say 0761743562550. Enter. It reads that I have 4 on hand, but one of them was defective. I just got approved for a credit on that one. So I'm going to move this 4 and do a little bit of math, take 1 off. So that means I'm left with 3, and I'm going to change it. And then over here is a store specific data change. There's a record saying I changed it today, which then will be matched with our defective goods report, and we're golden. Let's do one more. It's going to be the hose. So 0829011949996. Sink hose. It says I have 1 on hand, which is 1 left, but it actually was defective. So if I do 1 minus 1, I'm going to end up with 0. I'm going to change that. And then down here is the store specific data change. Done. So it's recorded that today I made this change. That's the very last step. I ran it through IMU. 5192. Last thing, please don't forget to hole punch your sheet that you worked on, your report. You're going to open up the claims, the ASNIC defective goods, put it under policy A, because that's what we're working on. You just put it at the very front, and then we'll be able to keep track of what's been done and what's been processed.